Well, hello. Uh, Gonna be a little bit of a short stream tonight, but I figured I would try to keep everybody up to date because not everyone has my YouTube, which is where I posted my schedule. But figured I would just kind of update everybody on exactly what's going on. Not only with me, but just with the stream in general and all that good stuff. So, first and foremost, there is a little bit of good news. I had mentioned the last stream that I had went and got some biopsies done. So that's the reason why I just haven't had the strength or the wherewithal to do streams, because being in pain, especially excessive amounts of pain, sucks. But thankfully, I have gotten some news back. Got results back on my biopsies. They're all benign, so I don't have melanoma. That's awesome. Um, However, until anything else comes about, that's basically it as far as that goes. However, I did update my schedule a little bit. I updated my schedule mainly on YouTube, but on Twitch, the only thing that I've done is just change the dates around. But we will be doing a more significant stream tomorrow and Wednesday and then Friday. And all three of those streams are going to be kind of a variety. Tuesdays, which is tomorrow, is going to be the bulk of our streaming week, which is going to be we're going to be doing more D&D discussions, just kind of going into the beauty that is the creative world of Dungeons & Dragons, and just kind of having a little bit of a back and forth between certain topics. I think for the most part, I'm just going to be discussing ideas that I have not only had, but I have used in the past. So that way, if there's any aspiring DMs, Dungeon Masters out there that want to use some of my ideas to their own discretion, you're more than happy to do that. And then Wednesday is going to be more of a variety, mainly just doing a little bit of discussions and then probably more Fallout 4. Tuesday we might have a little bit of RuneScape in the background, just something to kind of chill and enjoy, so that way we don't have to worry too much about anything else, because RuneScape's a very laid back game and you just point and click, so it's not like it's going to be anything too focus orienting, because I'll just be grinding in that game anyway. So and then Friday is going to be another discussion day where we will tackle more in-depth D&D topics, just kind of talking about the differences between the editions and why I think it's important to not focus on just one. I know there's plenty of possibly even more experienced dungeon masters out there than myself who try to include just one edition of D&D, which I find to be a little weird. And the only reason that I say that, for example, is because 5th edition does have a lot. It has, honestly, your bare bones of what you need to play D&D. The books that are currently out there for 5th edition work out fine, give or take a few of them. I'm not a very big fan of the Monsters of the Multiverse just because the rules that they have set up for some of the well-established creatures in that game does not make sense to me to suddenly change. For example, I don't understand how a flying creature can run and fly at the same speed, and that's literally the rule. You move 30 feet, you can fly 30 feet, and that's it. Whereas for example, in 3.5, you could run 30 feet or have a 30-foot movement on the ground, yet you had a 60-foot movement in the air. So you basically moved twice as fast in the air than you did on the ground. So I think that makes a lot more sense than just being like, oh, well, you have 30 foot, you can move 30 feet on the ground, and you can move 30 feet in the air. And you quite literally move at the same speed. That doesn't make sense to me, but it is what it is. But long story short, we are going to go over the differences with those, why they make sense, why they don't make sense, so on and so on. But that will be the more in-depth discussion on Friday. But like I said, I think for me it is very important to have oh, that's neat. I didn't know I could do that. Anyways, I think it is very important to have a mixture of the two, because if you quite literally just use one, if you're just using 5th edition, I guess in and of itself is not like too terrible, but it doesn't offer as many options as you would have if you were playing a mix between 5th edition and 3.5. You would have way more of a variety to use. But that's just my opinion, I guess. I know that most DMs, especially those who do what they do more or less for a living, they only use whatever the current edition is. So the next edition that's coming out is 6th edition or 1D&D, whichever one you want to call it. And for the next edition, they're doing only one more physical copy of their books, and then after that everything is going to digital. And I think that's lame, but it is what it is. Like I said, I personally would not just use one edition and be done with it, because it's dumb. But that is essentially the lineup for this coming week. And I don't know about next week yet, because after all, I'm not a fortune teller and not I can't look into the future and see anything. But birthdays are coming up, and I'm probably just going to be busy, so we won't be streaming at all. Might not be streaming at all next week or maybe the week after. But we will see. But yeah, that is the main crux of what's going to be going on this week. Is next 2 days is going to be discussions and a little bit of gaming in the background. Then Friday, and then after that, nothing. So, looking forward to 3 days of stuff. Because, like I said, this stream is just to update everybody on what's going on. So, that's the good news, is that my results came back benign. I'm good. So the pain's worth it. And we will go a little bit further in depth of some of the stuff that within the collective of Dungeons and Dragons that I've found to be a little odd, and just kind of airing my grievances, I guess, on that. And then after that will be just chilling, talking to you guys, and going through all the shenanigans that is the campaigns that I've hosted, campaign ideas that I've seen, stuff that I've wanted to use, all that good stuff. I do hope that by going through that, that, it's a clearer picture as to where I stand on that stuff. Not necessarily saying that that's important, but yeah, I'm assuming if people are stopping by and listening to my voice and listening to what I have to say, that they care. So, but that's more or less it as far as the next, as far as this week is concerned. The next 2 weeks is going to be a little different, just because I don't know exactly what's in the cards for what's going to be going on. If I don't have time to do anything, then I just don't have time to do anything. But I'm going to hope that that everything lines up perfectly, and that we have a little bit of time to do a little bit of everything. But if it doesn't, then that's also okay. Which is another reason why I'm having this little bit of a stream, because I can keep this up on the Twitch channel. I can also upload this to YouTube, so those who haven't seen my post on YouTube will know exactly what's going on here, and those who somehow miss it on here and have my YouTube will see both the post and the video, so they'll know exactly what's going on. But that's the lineup. So it'll just be chill stuff right now. Given that how my discussions go, it'll probably be much of what we're already seeing. So just a game playing in the background, me talking. Yeah, that's basically all that really needs to be said. And I was able to do all this in less than 20 minutes, so that's fun. But yeah, that's what we got lined up for this coming week, and I don't really have anything else to say as far as that goes. So, thank you guys for always stopping in and saying hello and everything else. And I'll have more of a outline of what I want to talk about tomorrow, and we'll probably not only be talking, I'll have RuneScape going, so I can grind out some more levels while we're talking about the goods and bads, the ins and outs, the back and forths of Dungeons and Dragons as a whole, and my experiences as a DM, what I like, don't like, blah, 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 blah. Just kind of going from literally the bare bones makeup into the more details. And like I said, I will be going into why I think that mixing the editions is a lot better than just using one. I know that some people don't like that, but I think that it is a grand way to have more content in your campaigns. And I stand by that notion. Because there's quite a bit in 3.5 that exists that 5th edition does not have. And given that Wizards of the Coast are now very quickly moving from 5th edition into the all-digital 1 D&D or 6th edition, whatever you want to call it. Since they're moving into that, there's honestly going to be no implication of anything else from 3.5 into 5th edition or 6th edition. There was quite literally so much that they overlooked from 3.5 into 5th edition, and now that they're already moving on to the next one, there's just no way that they're going to come back and look at the other ones and bring them in. I just don't think that that's possible. They could prove me wrong, of course, and if they do, I'll gladly take back where I stand. But until then, I'm going to stick to my guns and say that there's no way that they're going to include some elements of 3.5 into future editions. For whatever reason that may be, I'm not entirely sure, but I just personally think that they're not going to bother if they're already moving on to another edition. In the meantime, though, I just wanted to have like a little filler, a little placeholder to satiate anybody's need for something further, I guess. But I do appreciate anyone and everyone that comes by. I appreciate you all giving those follows and stopping in whenever you can. It's always good to see you. If you can support me any further, that would be awesome as well. It's not required, of course, and I'm not going to sit here and beg for it, but you know, if you do it, you do it, and if you don't, you don't. Otherwise, I'm just glad that you're here. I'm glad that you're a part of everything, and that we're more or less growing together, because I think that that's probably what means the most. So, for now, that is basically all I got. And if you all enjoy this, then I hope to see you again tomorrow and Wednesday and then Friday. If there's anything that I missed, I will, of course, just bring it up next stream. If there's anything that you all out there want to talk about that I'm not covering at the moment, in regards, anyway, to the topics that I'm already covering, then feel free to bring them up next time I'm on stream. You can also find me on YouTube. My YouTube channel, I do believe, is on my Twitch bio. Otherwise, I just kind of throw it in the chat every now and again. So I'm just going to do that right now. So if you have anything else that you want me to bring up in regards to the topic at hand, you can find me there on YouTube. You can throw me a comment in my community tab. I'm more than happy to answer any of the comments that you all throw at me. I do see every comment that I get, so don't think that you can throw me a comment and I'll miss it. That's just not the case. I read all of them. I read all of them and I see all of them and I answer all of them that really need and require an answer, I suppose is the best way to put it. But anyways, as said, thank you all again for being supportive, being interactive, and all that stuff. Hopefully, next time that we're here, we got a larger audience, and we're all just kind of growing together as a community. Khan's empire grows. Yeah, that's it. So, hope you all are having a good evening or night or morning, wherever it is that you are. And I hope to see you all again next time. So until then, take care and enjoy your terrific Tuesday and then a wonderful Wednesday.